thought I'd make this video to kind of give you some of the myths about boot camp. I went to boot camp January 8th this past year, and it's been roughly about a year. And I remember like around this time last year, I was just dreading boot camp. A lot of the concerns that I mentioned in the beginning, I actually had those concerns. I actually didn't know what to expect. And coming out of boot camp, especially taking perspective from now, I learned a lot of boot camp is just like super hyped up. Boot camp is, I think, is like one of the more hyped up things that you'll ever encounter in your life. The way I describe boot camp, honestly, what it is basically you're folding clothes. Like literally 70% of the time, you're getting paid to fold clothes. That's pretty much it. Boot camp is simple. All you have to do is listen to what they say and keep quiet and fold clothes. That's pretty much it. It's only 2 months, first of all. It's not that long. Like say a lot of people think 2 months. I'm gonna miss my the world I'm leaving behind. I'm gonna miss my family. I'm gonna miss my spouse or whatever. The thing is, first of all, you get 3 phone calls. A lot of people don't know that, but you can make 3 phone calls while you're in boot camp, and you can write letters out of your ass. You can write letters all you want, and it's only 2 months. Once you get back to your home, you're gonna realize that not a lot has changed since you left. It's basically still everything is gonna be still back there. All right. The only thing that's gonna change is you, maybe. Boot camp for me, honestly, was pretty easy. When I went to boot camp, I was 23 years old. I think boot camp is designed for 18-year-olds. It's structured so they can kind of mold 18-year-old minds that are fresh out of high school to they expect them to be immature or childish, and that's what they treat you as. Especially in the first few weeks, they treat you as little children. Why? That's to kind of get your attention. Alright, so the 3 things that I wish I knew before going into boot camp were 1, ASMO, 2, inspections, and 3, billets. Alright, so what do I mean about that? Alright, let's first talk about ASMO. ASMO. What is ASMO? I'm not sure what it stands for, but it's spelled ASMO. Alright, so say you graduate March 5th, but you haven't passed your swim exam yet. You get ASMO'd. Say you injured your leg and you graduate March 5th. You get ASMO'd. Say you can't pass your run yet and you're about to graduate soon. You get ASMO'd. ASMO'd means being held back. A lot of people don't know that, but you actually can get held back in boot camp. A lot of the times it's usually because of people don't know how to swim, and we had one person in my boot camp, in my division, who couldn't pass his run exam, and he got ASMO'd like a week back. A lot of times people get ASMO'd because they do stupid stuff. A lot of times they just they don't behave well, or by behaving well I mean they literally are just stupid idiots. But behaving well doesn't mean that if you don't listen, you get ASMO'd. If you don't pass, if you don't pass an inspection, you get ASMO'd. No, none of that. It's usually more severe. Like if you do drugs, I guess not a lot of people, but some people, what they do is they crush pills and they snort them. Either you get ASMO'd back like a few weeks, or you just get kicked out. Another reason people get ASMO'd is literally maybe they sneak in food from the cafeteria. But it's just basically stupid shit. Like if it's literally retarded shit. So with the swimming, we had 2 people who were getting ASMO'd because they couldn't pass the swim exam. When you so you take your swim exam, I think the first week of boot camp, first or second week of boot camp, I'm not quite sure. And the people that don't pass, they get put in special classes to teach you how to swim, basically. And the instructors are I'm not sure who the instructors are. Maybe divers, Navy divers, not SEALs. I doubt they're SEALs, but whatever. It's like people who can teach you how to swim. And what happens is you get sent to swimming classes like twice a day, or maybe twice a week. I'm not sure how often you get sent to classes, but you basically get sent to classes until you know how to swim. And the swimming exam is basically, the first one is you dive off like about a 10-foot board, and you dive off. They teach you how to land. It's kind of like you just kind of dive down, and you get up and you swim like the length of a pool. The second part is basically, I think the hardest part of the swimming exam is basically a dead man float, which is basically you're just kind of floating up and you're treading water basically for 5 minutes. And honestly, it wasn't even 5 minutes. It was more like 3-4 minutes. They just kind of guesstimated. They're like, okay, they're about done. Let's get them out. And what it is, they teach you to basically kind of dive down. It's like a dead man's stroke. I don't know what it's called. Basically, you're just lying dead, basically, and that's to conserve energy. What I did was before I went to boot camp, I actually practiced this. This is in my opinion the hardest part of the swim exam, the treading of the water. And what they have you do is basically they tell you beforehand you want to conserve energy. You don't want to just like flap around for 5 minutes straight. You're gonna like pass out. Towards the end of my thing, I was literally, if I was there for like literally 10 more seconds, I would have like been done. I would have failed it. But luckily they pulled me out before that and I passed. And what I did was before going to boot camp, I actually practiced this. I went to my local YMCA. I told the lifeguard, hey, I'm going to boot camp soon and I need to practice a dead man's float. Yeah, that's what it's called, a dead man's float. And you got to be careful with that because like if you're just like lying dead in the water, to a lifeguard, they actually might think you're dead. But you kind of like let them know that, hey, this is what I'm doing. Sometimes they won't let you do it. I had some occasions where they wouldn't let me do it. But other times they're just cool with it. Just let them know what you're doing. You mentioned boot camp, Navy, use that card, and you'll be fine. And the final part of the swimming exam is basically you're just kind of like lying in a jump. So it is easiest part ever. But yeah, a lot of people didn't pass the swim exam at first. But towards the end of boot camp, they learned how to swim. They actually teach you how to swim. And only 2 people got ASMO'd, meaning they got sent back about maybe a week. It depends on like whenever you pass your exam and you graduate every single Friday. So say your division is set to graduate this Friday, but you don't pass the swim exam, but you pass it like on a Monday or a Tuesday, and then you graduate the next following Friday. All right. So you have to know how to swim. If you don't, you're kind of putting yourself in a hole and being at risk of being ASMO'd, which is once again is being held back. Yeah, my recruiter didn't tell me that at all. He did not mention. Like he told me that yeah, they'll teach you how to swim, but luckily I took classes beforehand, before going to boot camp, and I managed to learn how to swim on my own. Well, not on my own, but like with an instructor. But I was proactive about it, and you should be too. If you don't know how to swim, be proactive about it. Practice, take classes, because you don't want to put yourself in that position where you're about to graduate and you have to be held back like a week or so you can learn how to swim. And trust me, you don't want to be in boot camp longer than you have to be. Boot camp is easy, but you just want to get out of it. I remember towards the end of boot camp, I was just like literally bored with it. Like it was just so boring after a while. It just became so repetitive. Like, we're gonna do this today, and the chief might yell at us or whatever, and make us maybe do a few push-ups or whatever. And like, I'm just really bored with this by now. That's what happens after a while. You just get really bored. Especially the first few weeks, you're just like especially the first week, you don't know what's going on. Everything's chaotic. Everyone's screaming at you. You don't know how to fold shit. You don't know how to fold like your blanket or whatever. You don't know. You're gonna have to shower with 80 guys, or if you're girls, you're gonna have to shower with 80 girls. You're like insecure, like, my nipples, But after a while, after like a week or two, you get used to it. I'm sure your recruiter told you the first maybe week or two is the hardest. It might be true. For some people, it is the hardest, and after a while, you get used to it. And before you know it, bam, it's over. 2 months, gone. All right, the next thing that I want to talk about are inspections. All right, so there's only literally 5 things you need to pass boot camp, and which are you take 3 exams. It's like the easiest exams ever. It's like you have a book and you read and you study it. You're gonna be studying for the exams like literally most of your time at boot camp, and they're impossible to fail. Like if you fail them, yeah. So they're impossible to fail. You take 3 exams, and there's 5 things as I mentioned to pass boot camp. The 3 exams, 1, 2, 3. The swim test, and the final running, or the PFA, which is like assessment of your physical ability. You need to pass that. So you need to do X amount of push-ups, X amount of sit-ups, and you need to get X amount of time on your run. For me, I was 23, so I had to do like maybe like 42 push-ups only, and like maybe 50 sit-ups. And my run time, which is 1.5 miles, 1.5 miles, I think it had to be maybe under 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Yeah, so you can look up the scores you need for your push-ups, sit-ups, and run online. I'm sure you can find it. So you just need those 5 things to pass. You also have these inspections. You have like 3 big inspections that you work towards, and you don't need to pass those inspections. They say is like you can make 3 mistakes for every inspection, and if you make more than 3 mistakes, you fail. But it doesn't matter at all if you fail or not. You can be like the most righteous person and like have 0 mistakes on your inspections, good for you. Hey, good for you. Or you can be like, like a jackass and have like 50 mistakes. Hey, you're stupid, but it's not gonna matter because it's not gonna hold you back. So the inspections, do not worry about the inspections at all. Your drill instructors will drill into you that these inspections are really important. They're not important to you, but they're more important to the drill instructors, because that way the boot camp assesses like how well the drill instructors are doing. So it's more for them rather than for you. As I mentioned, for you, the only 5 things you need to pass are 3 exams, which are super easy. The final run / push-up / sit-up, which is doable, and the swim exam. Let's talk a little bit about while we're on the subject, a little bit about the physical aspect of boot camp. So you don't work out that much, honestly. It kind of builds towards we have this one big final run, was 20 minutes sustained run, so you basically run for 20 minutes straight. I think that was the biggest challenge. It's not even challenging, it was the longest workout that we had. So you work out maybe 3 times a week, and it's literally the easiest workouts ever. It's just super chill in terms of it is what you put into it. If you want to work super hard, and if you want to get your push-ups and sit-ups and runs up, you actually you have to fucking try hard. But I was lucky in a position where I was somewhat fit before going into boot camp, so I really didn't worry about that much. But there was one kid, he was kind of obese, kind of a bigger kid, and the first time we did the little PFA, which is assessment of where we're at, he could only manage to do 13 push-ups. Literally, he did 13 push-ups and he was done. So he was a great inspirational story, because after a while, by the end of it, by the 3rd assessment, he managed to do, I think, 35 push-ups. Yeah, he lost weight. He ran faster, and he managed to do more push-ups. What happened was he got good on his diet. He cut out all the junk food they have there. He actually tried hard when we were PTing, which is physical training, and he was just motivated to not be there. And let's talk about the food as well. The food there is delicious, honestly. That was the best part of boot camp, in my opinion. The food was amazing. It was really good. We were there for a Super Bowl. I don't know, the Patriots played the Seahawks. The Patriots won. And for that day, I remember we had cheesesteaks and pizza. Awesome. There's ice cream sundae every single Sunday. Ice cream Sunday, good day Sunday. And breakfast is amazing. We have French toast, you have pancakes, but try to stay on the healthier side. And that's what the kid did. The kid who could only do 13 push-ups, at first he didn't really care. He just ate whatever he wanted to. But after a while, we talked, not me, but other people talked, and we said, hey, if you want to pass, get good on your diet. And so he only ate the healthy stuff. And you can tell which is healthy. There's a green label and an orange label and a red label. Red means it's high in fat, high in calories. Green means it's low in fat, and it's good for you. So the food there, amazing. Only if you make the right decision to eat the right food. It's good. It's delicious. The last thing I wish my recruiter told me was that the drill instructors are there just as a temporary job. It's not their full-time job. It's just a billet. And what it is a 4-year assignment. So every drill instructor is there for 4 years. And don't take anything they say personal. They're gonna treat you like a piece of crap. And that's because that's what they're told to do. They go through a boot camp themselves to become drill instructors. And in the boot camp, they're taught to be assholes on purpose. They're taught to be assholes because that's the only way they can get your attention. They're taught to be mean, to be aggressive, all in your face, because they want to kind of mold you in a certain way. I remember them saying, we're gonna break you guys down and remold you. I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? They're gonna break us down and reshape us? We're not robots. They treat you like little kids. They treat you like you're a scum, like a little worm. And that's because they're instructed to do that. So do not take that personally. At the end of the day, they go home to their families. Today's Christmas. I'm sure most of them are at home with their family opening presents. They shit all the time. So whenever someone's yelling at you, think about them hey, you're gonna go home and you're gonna take a shit. It's gonna be smelly. You're a disgusting creature. It's kind of like the Stanford prison experiment. And if you're familiar with that, is what happened was the experimenters divided a few people up as correctional officers and prisoners. And after a while, they put them like in a jail. And at first, everyone was like, "Oh, hey, we're the same people." But it's just like you have a prisoner outfit and I have a officer outfit, whatever. But after a while, the prisoners, in their mind, they started giving their powers away, and it's just kind of like abuse of power. I'm not saying that's how boot camp is, abuse of power, but what I'm trying to say is you're giving your power away to these drill instructors, and that's what they want you to do. They want you to give your power away, but be respectful to them. Like, don't be an asshole, but just know that they're literally the same people as you are. All right? Don't give your power away. Be respectful towards them, and if they're screaming in your face, just say, "Hey, whatever. This is part of your job. Don't take it personal." That's what I'm trying to say. Do not take that personal at all. And finally, let me just touch a little bit on the stress. We're all human beings. Everyone is gonna experience stress here. But what I figured out was like, okay, it's not just about me. There's 80 other people here, and they all have the same thoughts as me. And I really don't want to be here. This asshole is screaming in my face. I miss my family. I miss my car. I miss my house. I miss my friends. Like, everyone has the same thoughts as you. All right. So just know that you're not in it alone. Before going to boot camp, one of my friends told me, "Hey, listen, 1,000,000 people have gone through this before you, and 1,000,000 people will go through this after you. All right. You're not a little special snowflake that you think everything is just about you. That don't take everything personal, thinking it's just, oh man, they're out to get me. No, everyone is there. They have the same amount of stress as you. They all are experiencing the same stuff as you're experiencing. All right. So that kind of helped me out with the stress. I'm like, okay, I'm not alone with this. Everyone else is, with me. Another thing that kind of helped me out with stress was writing in my journal. A lot of people do this in boot camp. They kind of like just write their thoughts out. They might like have a daily journal. I think I had like a weekly journal where I used to like write every single week. Like on a Friday, I should be like, okay, this week was blah. This is what happened. This was good about this week. This was bad about this week. This is how I feel about it. Just kind of get out of your head. Just like write it down. That helps tremendously. So just writing helps with stress. Another thing that helps with stress in boot camp is meditation. I know people don't really meditate. Even I don't meditate. I wish I did. I wish I did more meditation. But by meditating, I mean just kind of like getting out of your head and just like slowing everything down. A technique that I learned is called the square technique. And what it is basically you just breathe in for 4 seconds, hold your breath for 4 seconds, breathe out for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4 seconds, and repeat. It's like a big square. So, just do a little meditation, just kind of get out of your head. That helps tremendously with stress as well. But overall, I think just staying positive. Just know that I'm only here for 2 months, and there could be things that are 10 times worse. In the 1940s, there was a little thing called concentration camps, where some people put other people in a certain camp and So think about that. You're not in a goddamn concentration camp. You're just in a boot camp. All right. You're just having a few people yell at you. You're just kind of missing home for like 2 months. That's literally it. It's just 2 months. Things could be 10 times worse. All right. I know you don't get to go home to your family every single day, but it's only 2 months, and you'll see them. And plus, as I mentioned, you get to talk to them on the phone 3 times through boot camp, all right, which isn't that bad at all. And plus, you can write letters. All right, so let's wrap it up. ASMO, inspections, and billets. Those are 3 things that I wish my recruiter told me before. ASMO, meaning you get held back. Inspections, meaning you don't need to pass inspections. All right, they're gonna harp on you like, you gotta pass the inspection or else like bad shit's gonna happen to you. No, not really. And finally, billets. Don't take anything personal. All right, it's just their job to scream at you and kind of treat you like assholes. All right. On that note, I'm gonna go back and go to my ship. And there's a big Christmas dinner today. I was told of ice cream. It's gonna be delicious. I hope. Everything's closed here, so that sucks. I'm starving. All right, catch you guys later.